This is Manchester United we're talking about.
This is Man United we're talking about.
This is Manchester 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 United we're talking about.
Oh, this is Manchester United we're talking about.
It's Manchester United we're talking about. Manchester United we're talking about here.
This is Manchester United we're talking about.
This is Manchester United we're talking about.
This is Manchester United we're talking about.
I mean, this is Manchester United we're talking about.
This is Manchester United we're talking about.
This is Manchester United we're talking about.
It's Man United we're talking about. It's Man United we're talking about. It is Man United we're talking about. It's Manchester United we're talking about.
It's Man United we're talking about.
This is Man United we're talking about.
It's Manchester United we're talking about.
We're talking about Manchester United.
Yes, people, this is Man United we're talking about, and now I can get into the nitty-gritty of all of this. How about that? Like the video if you haven't done so yet. Subscribe up if you haven't done so yet. Nearly on 8.3. Nearly on the road anyways, but goodness gracious me, man. Oh, it's not looking good. It's not looking good. You know what? There's only one saving grace in all of this. You know, United, I don't think United are going to sell him. Right? And I think it's too late in the window right now to sell him. There's not going to be a replacement. I just don't see that being the case. It's dark. And I'm getting annoyed with the media. I don't know. It's because it's stuff I don't want to hear. Yeah. And that's probably why I'm getting annoyed more with the media, because I don't want Kobby to leave. But the fact that there's no clear plan is insanity. And now, you know where, all right, cool. Everyone's had, if you've been part of a club and you're invested, you know what I'm going to say here, right? Because I think it's happened to everyone. There's already a split between if people even like the manager or don't like the manager. So this can pretty much relate to one of you lot's clubs, in whichever era you can remember, right? And then now you've got a player that the fans love, and it's one of our own. We've kept, I don't know how many years, is it like 87 years of tradition of having someone in a match day squad from the academy, all of that stuff, blah, blah, blah. And then before you know it, it could go up in the air. There's many ways you can. I'm thinking someone said as well, this is what the angle I might go with, but there might be another angle that I'm kind of going with. The 45 million stuff seems a little bit, I don't believe it. I don't think it even makes sense when you're trying to offload Garnacho. Like, how can you accept 50 million for a one-away Garnacho, but accept 45 million for Kobby? See, this is what I just don't understand. The media is all over the gaff. Even Ben Jacobs is getting different notions. And you know what the other keywords are? It's stuff like could accept. What do you mean could accept? Will they accept? You rate him at 70 million. It's like, I don't understand a lot of this. One sec, let me open my door because I am getting hot and my head is getting hot. All right, that's much better. There's a lot to kind of unravel with all of this. So let's try it. Let's try a lot of different angles right now. Cool. Let's just start off with Kobby wants to leave. He does want to leave, or he's open to leaving. Which one is it? Does he want to leave, or is he open to leaving? Big difference, right? So that's one. That's one thing. The other part is, again, they keep changing his figures for what he wants in his contract, right? One moment is 160k. The next moment it's what, 180k, and then now they're talking about 10 times the amount, 200k. What do you mean? See, now one thing I don't want with our fan base is to start making this guy out to make him look like a villain because he wants said amount. Don't get me wrong. In a market where Ugarte is not playing very good and he's on like 120, you got Bruno Fernandes and Casemiro who are leaving next year. It's not warranted that he's going to ask for 180k. The wage thing seems very, very fake, I must admit. But he needs a wage in probably his eyes that reflects his importance in the team. And that's that. So there's a lot of questions. If you got your questions, give me a second as well. I'm just trying to get I'm trying to break down different parts. So is this a negotiation tactic? I think so. I think it's not the first time this has happened. This is the second time. January was the first. This is now the second. There's been no fuss all preseason, and now there's a fuss. So I think with Kobby, I don't believe he wants to leave Manchester United. Why would he want to leave his boyhood club? It makes no sense. And on top of that as well, I think he's just wondering what his position is within this whole team. What is it? Even I have to ask, what is it? Am I 6? Am I an 8? Am I one of the 10s? Am I in your plans? There's another quote that I have to read up as well, which kind of backs the whole, well, all of that. So I'm going to read it because I decided to like it. And this is where it's quite concerning. If it wants me to do that. So in I don't know where this is from. I think it's from the Athletic. It says here, right? Aside from the pursuit of Carlos Baleba, a dream target who is considered too expensive to prize away from Brighton and Hove Albion this year, United's summer-long search for a midfielder has focused more heavily on identifying an alternative to Bruno Fernandes. Somebody who would play alongside either Casemiro or Manuel Ugarte, one who would, in effect, replace Mainoo within the squad, as per Amorim's latest description of his role. I don't get it. I don't get it. Like, honestly, it's so confusing about all of this. Like, has Amorim fallen out with Mainoo? Is he not talking to Mainoo? Like, he said he's got big plans. What is the plan? There's so much. There's always a little bit of mess when it goes down to United. When results don't go our way, right? It's a mess. Would this have come out if he touched pitch for 20 minutes, for 30 minutes? Well, what do you mean? Has focused more heavily in an alternative to Bruno. What's the alternative for Bruno? And what else doesn't make sense is Casemiro doesn't have a long-term future at this club. So again, this article from wherever it's from, I think it's the Athletic, it doesn't make sense. Can someone like consolidate me? Like, what does that mean? Because it doesn't make any sense. I'm trying to work that one out. Now, if he is to leave, he said he wants a team within Europe. Now, if I'm correct, any team that's in Europe right now is Newcastle that would want him, Newcastle and Tottenham. Would he go to Thomas Frank's Tottenham? I think he would. And I think they're willing to spend around 60 million for a midfielder. But as it stands, they are chasing Paqueta and Xavi Simons. And I think there's another player in there as well. As it stands, Chelsea are not interested in Mainoo. They are interested in other players, so it can't be them. As it stands, Newcastle are too busy trying to figure out who their striker is before a midfielder is even touching. So again, I'm trying to work this one out with you guys. The Bruno replacement part is the one that makes the least sense. Kobby's meant to take Bruno's spot, and let's be honest, DM is the most important right now. Yeah, exactly. So again, is this like because it's been slow news? Is this because the media want to, I don't know, try and make stories up once again? I'm baffled, and you know what? It's pissing me off. It's pissing me off because our best midfielder is not Bruno Fernandes. Our best 8 in this current squad, or /6, whichever way you want to look at it, is Kobby all around. Kobby's best performance, people say, oh, but he can't play in a 3-4-3, right? In the 3-4-3 in England, Kobby Mainoo dropped his best performance with Declan Rice. So what do you mean that don't work? Of course that can work. I've seen him do it. So he can do it. And he's come back fitter than ever, trying to make case of like, I'm training hard, I'm on the pitch, I'm playing well. Every cameo that he came on in pre-season done really well. So what is there to it? So this is where now I'm in a bit of a place with everybody else where I'm sorry, but if it is to be true, I don't want to get too reactive with it because otherwise I'm just like everybody else in effect. But if it is to be true, the way I'm kind of viewing it is, well, now the people that are in faith of like in Amorim and hoping he does well, I'm hoping he goes out. Like, I'm sorry. An academy, like, Amorim is not Manchester United. I'm sorry, he is not Manchester United. The club and player will come first. When a manager has not done anything to warrant why we should build for him, why should we get rid of a player if the manager's whole flipping future is up in the air anyways, and he might not even be here by match week number 10? Am I making sense? It does not mean I want him to go, because it could be stupid. Amorim could have a genuine plan for Kobby. Kobby might be within his reach. He might want to take over Bruno Fernandes slowly but surely because, I don't know, he doesn't want to upset a dressing room. I don't know. Yeah? So where I'm kind of viewing it is, you're losing me way more now. It's like, I don't want to be at a part where I want to, where like last year when it was Ten Hag, I don't care about results anymore. Like, I don't care. Like, I couldn't care less. I've got no more to give. I can't shout. I can't do this. This is just from a personal perspective. Now it's like the media have successfully, and it's been successfully, they've made it Kobby versus the manager. That's the new narrative, and that's disgusting. Why should it be that? Because I don't really see Kobby Mainoo kicking up a fuss. Well, it's just all because he said he's open to moving if given a chance. Of course, you're going to be open to moving because you want your minutes. You've got the World Cup coming up. Every player, I'm telling you now, every player, the young player, definitely dreams of playing in the World Cup and having a first team position. If you look at England and their options, you wouldn't say their 8 options are the greatest right now. You know, other than Declan Rice and Adam Wharton, you'd think the other one that could probably fit in there is Kobby. He might have a role there. So yeah, I don't understand it. It's a mess. It don't make sense. Man United can't demand 50 million for Garnacho and then say, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna accept 45 million for Mainoo. So whatever Laurie Whitwell said there, I think he's talking shit. Respectfully, as much as I like Laurie Whitwell, you're talking shit. There's no way United would be open to selling him for 45 million. Does United even have a replacement in mind? Because surely they can't say, yeah, I'm going to set this bid because we're going to get Baleba for 115 million. So I don't know. Rodney, big up, man, for the super chat. Anyone that wants to super chat, big up to yourself. It supports me heavily. It says, big up Kobby's agent has United fans and supporters twerking on YouTube on the internet. Get your client his money. Yeah, of course. I do believe it could be a negotiation tactic, and it's a very, very good one. So whoever his agent is definitely working this very well. But I do think in a way, Kobby should be a little bit more patient. But how patient can you be? You know, when you're not being relied upon to come on the pitch and make a difference, when Mason Mount and, you know, other players are getting the go ahead against above you, like, do you know what I mean? You're gonna wonder, like, what's going on here? Like, I'm good in front of goal. I can make a difference. I can hold up the ball effectively in the middle of the park. I can drive with it. Something that United has been lacking is someone in the middle that can drive with the ball, because Bruno Fernandes and Casemiro can't do that. Agate can, but to what effect? So yeah, it's not looking good. It's really not looking good. Smash the likes, people. I don't know what likes we're on. There's 416 in the house. What is it? It's Wednesday today, isn't it? So yeah, we're on 59 likes. If you can smash the likes, you know what that does already. You lot, for any show, you know what it does. And anyone that wants to subscribe, remember, I'm about 20. Am I like 20 off? Am I 20 off? Let me double check. So one of you might be able to check quicker than me as it goes. Right. No, that's the wrong one, mate. We've had a couple. We're like 22 off. All right, cool. Fair enough. Cass, I've got a question. When you seen Mainoo in a 10 or 8 or 6 under Amorim, has he looked good under Amorim? It comes to the point whether it's Mainoo or Amorim. I don't think Mainoo's put in bad performances. I think last year the whole team was shit. The whole team last year was shit. So if we're going off of that, then I think that's just stupid. But in terms of Kobby Mainoo's positioning, I liked him in a 10. Didn't get put there. He got put in a 9. He hasn't been given a run of games either. I think Kobby can do the 6 to a good degree, depending on who the 8 is. And that's where you look at someone like Baleba, thinking he'd be perfect for him. But I do believe Kobby's an 8 in a 3 where he'd thrive a lot more. I think whether it's a box-to-box or more of an attacking player, I don't think it really matters. That's just my part. I think he's an 8. He's definitely not a 10, but he's definitely an 8. Whether he's an attacking 8 or not, I don't know, but he can definitely do the defensive side of things. We've seen Kobby do the defensive side of things. He just, when he did do the 6, let's be honest with ourselves. Like, Ten Hag had him drowning in the 6 by himself, or he had Casemiro in the 6 drowning by himself. There was no one near him. So again, when we was playing a little bit more lower block football and he was playing against like the likes of Everton and whatnot, and he was in the 6 next to somebody, you saw him clean up nicely. You saw him do what he needed to do. That's why everyone got gassed off him in the first place. Look at him versus Galatasaray. He was the best player on the pitch near enough. I think we ended up losing that game, or did we win it like 3-2? I can't remember, but he was the best player on that pitch. And that was his first game away. So, I don't know. If we put Kobby on loan, that would be stupid. But if he gets him game time, I don't mind it. If you're not going to use him, but as long as there's, I'll be real, you're going to have to put a break clause in there. There must be a point where you have to have him where you can return it. If the manager is to get sacked, you need to bring him back because someone else might have plans for him. So if Bruno is to want to leave, getting rid of Mainoo makes no sense. It's pathetic. Makes no sense. People around Kobby need to let him know he outlives the use of... But I already believe that they're telling him that. Why is it? Why do we always get to a place where things look like they could be good, and there's always that one instance, whether it's Jose Mourinho and flipping Paul Pogba, you know, whether it's Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and a Van der Beek or whatever. Like, there's always a good player that's available that we never use and never get the most out of, or never really give them an opportunity. And when they do get given opportunities, they give a good cameo and never get used again. For what? Favoritism. We're stuck in a rock and a hard place with Bruno Fernandes. This is what I mean. He is not that guy to lead Manchester United forward, yeah, in terms of this kind of current system. And this manager is refusing because he's too, I think he's too cautious to upset the dressing room. And then if things don't go well, they're going to say, oh, but why have you got Bruno Fernandes on the bench? Well, there's better players that are suited for this system in all different areas. If you're going to play a false 9, split 9, put Bruno up front then. You don't have to play Sesko there every time. But I'm just saying, if you need to rest him, put Bruno up front. I've seen him do the false 9 many times to an effective, to a real effective degree as well. Because he's useless. We always say this ourselves. Bruno's not an 8. We can see that Bruno's not an 8. He can't play as a playmaker. He's not good at, I don't know, like, he's not good defensively aware. You want him where he's most dangerous, which is up the pitch. Now, Bruno's position, really and truly, you should be fighting with Cunha and Mbeumo, not Mainoo. Mainoo should not be fighting with Bruno Fernandes for the 8. So we all could see what he's about in the 8. He'll probably have a good game against Burnley, but he will die on that sword if that's going to be our midfield. If Ineos don't secure us a new midfielder, that is it. It is finished for him. Because it's going to be bandy results, never winning 2 games in a row, let alone 3 games in a row, let alone getting consistent results. And we're back to square one like we was under Ten Hag. Why the hell should we be back to square one again under Ten Hag? I don't want to see a new manager come in by November. The guy just needs to think and actually have a real... I don't know what it is. Go back to the drawing board and try to figure out. Because the thing is, if he puts Kobby there, you're going to have to put Ugarte there, maybe. That's probably our best duo. But the thing is, you lose a lot of playmaking because Casemiro likes to switch the ball quite a lot. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I think in Amorim's mind is, he'll play flipping Kobby tonight. Think he's going to... You think that's going to be a solver to it? No. Play Casemiro and Bruno against Burnley again. Probably get to ping up to Sesko and it looks all right. That is not true. No, we should not have kept Ten Hag. No. No. We was going on a down trajectory. We would have got, I'm telling you now, we would have got relegated under Ten Hag. We've definitely got relegated. If he stays under the manager, you have no World Cup for him. And if he leaves, he may salvage something. Mainoo can do long passes. You just never see him do it. He had a short pass game. I agree, but that's why you go get up with someone that can do the job. Like Lucien Agume would be, I don't know, a nice little stopgap, you could call it. And he's young enough. Not that much money. If he loses today, boy, we won't lose today, but if he loses today, not looking good. It's not looking good. I can't imagine that. I can't imagine that being the case, but I can see it where we go goal down. It'll be, oi. This manager is wedded to this dead system that you won't change it. Ten Hag's points low-key kept us up last season. Maybe. There's nothing to really warrant all of this. What's all of this? Why do people do this? Ten Hag was a bum and he needed sacking. Amorim was somehow more of a bum and also needs sacking. It could be, yeah, two things could be right at the same time, without a doubt. What else is there? If Amorim didn't realize Bruno was killing his system since last season, it's his own fault. What baffles me is that when Sesko starts, then Mount also goes ahead of Mainoo in a pecking order. That's crazy. Man said Mason Mount. We have 1 season left with Bruno and Casemiro. After that, we only have Kobby as our most talented centre mid to replace him. Would be crazy. Well, we need more. That's why we need it now. Yeah, Collier wouldn't have went anywhere if Mainoo was going to get sold, so it doesn't matter. Wilcox must fix this issue. Bruno going is better than Mainoo, plus United will extremely regret selling him. Yeah, of course so. Of course that would be the case. What do you mean Mainoo's defensive? Mainoo can definitely get forward as well. What? We don't watch the same game. Mainoo is undersized, slow, not a great long pass, or weak defensively. What? What? You're talking shit. You are talking shit. Mainoo is so good at progressing the ball, which is what we're missing in midfield. You can see our centre backs don't want to play through the middle because Bruno and Capo. Who's Capo? Man said undersized. Yeah, I don't know. Some people are just waffling. I don't understand for myself. But yeah, if we're gonna go off, let me see what's happened recent as well. I don't think that's gonna be the case. But with what Ben Jacobs has kind of said and what what's been the kind of consensus around it, I don't think anyone's gonna make a move. Probably because it's probably not even that true. I'm just seeing all this stuff. No one cares about Fabio Silva. I'm seeing Fulham and Chukwueze. But yeah, it's just this is the difference with Ben Jacobs. He's saying that Man United don't have a set asking price, but if Mainoo asked to leave, he would engage with. So, but that means that Mainoo hasn't exactly asked to leave. There's no movement in in Mainoo saying that he wants to leave Man United. This is why it could really be agent driven, and he does need a new deal, but it doesn't warrant a new deal that means 10 times more is in money. I think around the 100 grand mark or something like that should be the case. So I don't know, but I think it's more than just money. I think he just wants minutes. I think he just wants minutes, and I think that's fair enough. And this kind of makes me wonder as well, what is happening with the midfield situation at United? Again, it's gone very, very quiet on the midfield situation. And this Larman's deal is dragging. For a keeper that's worth peanuts, it's absolutely dragging. He wants United and only United. And the thing is, they will give him up. And I don't think it's a deal that needs multiple people to be working on. But in terms of outgoings, again, I'm sorry, but I have to say, like, all these other geezers, like football players and whatever, they're not that good. I don't even want to say their name. That's why I'm calling them geezers, yeah? Not the bomb squad, even though I've just said it. Where is the midfielder? There is no way that you look at this squad and say it's not needed an 8 in whatever metric that you've seen. I don't understand it. Like, the squad planning has been nothing but shite overall. I'm not gonna lie, if we don't sign a midfielder, this window is a 1. It's a 1. I don't care what strikers up front and what Mbumos and Cunhas. If you don't have a midfielder that can get you up the pitch, that can defend, that doesn't get played between, I'm sorry, bro. But if your manager can't get the best out of that, then he's got to get the sack. So are you setting up Amorim to fail? That's the way it kind of looks. That's the way it looks to me. I don't care if a goalkeeper comes on. How have you got a goalkeeper, a striker, before you got a midfielder? Even a 10. Bruno was more suited to a 10 than he was in an 8. You could have had him, a Cunha and whatever, right? You didn't even need to get Mbeumo. You could have got Mbeumo maybe next year. Maybe you could have got someone else next year. But that 8 was so much more important. And when you're telling us there's a revolving credit facility, there's players on the out, bro, you need to go and get a midfielder ASAP. I don't know who, whatever happens on deadline day, United better not close up shop, because they're just setting us up to fail. And I don't feel like, you know what? I feel like in United's minds, they're probably thinking, as long as we play well at Old Trafford and win all these games that we're meant to win, I don't know. Fulham when they come to Old Trafford, Sunderland when they come to Old Trafford, all of these like that coming to Old Trafford. What, you relying on one performance against Arsenal? Come on, man. Adam Wharton's had 37k. Why should we give him 100k? Because one's at United and one's at Palace, to be fair. And also, when you look at his age mates like Yoro, Ahmad, and all these lot, they're in between like 100 and 110 as well. So, yeah, think it will be Steeler. But that doesn't solve anything. Steeler doesn't make any sense. He's a playmaker, don't get me wrong, but then you don't have legs next to him. United's biggest issue right now is that there's not enough legs in midfield. That's why letting go Toby Collin made no sense to me if you're not going to get a midfielder. And then when you keep looking around at what we've got available, Agate's got legs, but he's not progressive enough. It makes no sense. We need a duelist in there that's progressive enough. We need a powerful midfielder. It's screaming for a powerful midfielder. I've never seen such a gaping hole and say, you know what, I refuse to believe in Ineos's mind that they're okay with this. I don't feel like they are okay with this. They can't be okay with this. But they need to go out there and look at these deals, like especially ones that have got release clauses. If you're going to go put the premium up, then look, I don't know about this whole Baleba stuff, yeah, but they've apparently asked for around the same kind of price as Caicedo. But I don't see how United have let go, I don't know, like a week and a half of not having Baleba just to put in a late bid now all of a sudden. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. Maybe it is an outgoing thing, but last time we checked and what we got told, that we walked away from it. And I don't know. I just can't see it happening. Apparently, United's putting, according to Laurie Whitwell, United's putting a lot of the groundwork, and he said maybe there might be a chance. The issue is with Laurie Whitwell, yeah, is that he puts out he's very clever, and of course he's a tier one. But what he does quite cleverly, right, is that he puts an opinion piece together that makes it sound like he's been told certain things. Do you know what I mean? And he makes it believable. And it's only highly intelligent people can do stuff like this. And that's why you got to look out for keywords. But I'm just saying now, yeah, I'm just saying go get a Gume. I'm not saying he's the answer, but I'm definitely saying he's definitely he fills a void that we just don't have. His last little quote on Baleba makes you think that, there might be a chance that United go in for a late bid with Baleba. He's talking about all of that stuff. It's just very annoying. It's this whole summer I've been trying to summarize what these people are really saying in their articles rather than the headlines and see what they come across with. It's like news from a week ago, 2 weeks ago, or something that they've said before. Bring it back in, say their opinion, give something that might happen like that's something that's optimistic, and make it a story. So that's why I don't believe the Baleba stuff, because why would you go in for him trying to get a price? Unless United have got a price and they don't mind it. But of course, United are going to walk away. I don't feel like United need to look, we need a Baleba, but I feel like there's other players out there that you can get for cheaper. And that means you can bide your time with. Look, I could say it. Maybe United are waiting for Højlund to get that option, that obligation. Maybe they are waiting for Sancho to leave the club so they can save money on wages and use that towards whatever. Maybe United are waiting for Garnacho and whoever else is meant to leave. And then you can go get whatever midfielder that they feel that they can go and do. But either way, United's going to pay a premium for Baleba. If they don't feel like Baleba is going to be worth 110, 150 million next year and think they're thick as shit. Because he's going to cost the exact same amount. Stupid. Just woken up. If United had a marbles team, I'd be there. What? I don't know what that means. These players' price in the EPL are getting out of hand. Yeah, they are. Because the demand these days are stupendous, mate. Like, midfielders in the 6/8, it's like gold dust. And so are strikers. Everything else is like, you get centre-backs for cheap, I suppose. Get left-backs and right-backs for cheap. Going for 35 million. Probably get wingers for cheaper these days as well. But strikers and midfielders are the gold mine. I have a theory that these Ornstein and Ben Jacobs don't really know what's going on behind closed doors, hence why they're speculative on our transfer rumors. Yeah, no one knows. We've been through this, I don't know how many times in these streams, and I feel like I've broken down a lot of these stories as well, and I've kind of come to the conclusion no one really knows what's going on at United. And you know what? When there's no news, it's bad news for them. No news for us is good news, but no news for them is bad. So they need to put something out. I feel like they've recycled the story with Mainoo. I think, actually, how about this? I feel like Mainoo's been open to leaving United since January. and they've just recycled it all over again to make another story. So technically what they've said in these stories are not incorrect. But I don't feel like all of a sudden Mainoo has just got up and said, yeah, you know what? I want to leave. He hasn't exactly told United he wants to leave. So which one is it? Yeah, that's very true. Even exactly. That's another one. I like Ben Jacobs and what he's been doing. But we kept getting told we're not likely to go for a keeper just to go and get a keeper. I feel like I don't know what's going on in United for 10 years now. Yeah, but that's what I don't want to go away from is what we don't know. That's the only full thing that I feel, us as a fan base, is what we all know is that little piece is like academy prospects and academy products and trying to keep it relevant to what it was. The only thing that it's like a copium. It's like a mechanism, isn't it? I have a sneaky feeling that they are looking at Donny as a keeper. Who's Donny? I don't even care if Galatasaray... You know what? Even with this Lahm and stuff, I don't really give a shit what they think. If Galatasaray have out... All of a sudden, Galatasaray have all teams who don't like big bids, and they have done this summer, have outbidden United for Lahmans. Who cares? I couldn't care less. That doesn't mean anything to United. I'll be real. When a player wants United, he ain't going to... Don't matter if you put in a bigger bid. It's quite similar to the likes of Newcastle. You put in a bigger bid, a much better bid than United, but he wanted Man United. So that's that. And that's why I'm confident it gets done. It's just that Royal Antwerp are trying to get as much millions as they can into the club, which is fair enough. Oh, my nose is going off. Is my hay fever coming back? That would be insane. That's my whole thing, and that's the most insane thing. That's exactly what I don't want, and that's what would get me really irritated, man. Big up M's in the building, man. But you have work. What's the likes of people? Make sure you smash the likes and make sure you check out the sponsors in the bottom right if you don't mind. This guy's cheeky, man. I know you're listening right now, yeah. But you know you are. But why is it every time I go live, you seem to go live straight after me? Like, all you got to do is ask. If you don't ask, you're not going to get. That's all I'm going to say, innit? So, it's just cheeky, innit? I'm not going to lie. Like, I could have went live about an hour ago and I would have saw that same live go live about half an hour ago than it is right now. I know the tactic very well. So then that's exactly why we're going to redirect to rants instead. That's exactly why we're going to redirect to rants. Oh, you just got in. But yeah, look, I'm going to be live again later on. I've got a watch long coming up and I'm obviously going to have to do a match reaction. I'm going to be shameless if we win because I've got nothing left. It was in this chat, man. It was in this chat. So we're going to go redirect to rants because rants blesses this channel as much as the next. So please go smash a live, a cast raid in there. And yeah, man, subscribe if you're brand new. Like the video on the way out. You know, all the good stuff, man. So pleasure, people, man. Going to be live.